right, so what brought you out here today?
I'm here to send a clear message to the Democratic Party and the Democratic candidates for office this fall that the people will no longer support unconditional aiding and abetting of genocide, and we stand for a complete arms embargo on Israel, sanctions, end of U.S. aid to Israel, and a permanent and immediate ceasefire.
Now, what do you say to people who say, well, you're going to get Trump elected?
Oh, God. I have a lot of things to say. Okay. Well, the first thing is I want to say that that's a form of emotional blackmail. This is the rhetoric of abusers, right? That we say, oh, well, you don't like one thing? Well, what are you going to think of the other guy, right? And I think that this is an unsustainable system, and I'm actually looking out for the sustainability of our country in years to come. Because if we continue to tell ourselves that we're stuck between the healthier of Pepsi and Coke, we will only have the healthier between Pepsi and Coke. But if we don't threaten a vote, if we don't say no arms embargo, no vote, no sanctions, no vote, right, we will never be able to leverage any real political accountability. And we've seen materially, we've seen the effects of this only in just a few months. I mean, Governor Walz got up right after the Minnesota primaries on CNN, and he said openly, that was the first time he said the situation in Gaza is intolerable. He hadn't said a word about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, and what prompted him to do so was that 1 in 5 Minnesota Democrats voted uncommitted, right? Because of a one-week grassroots movement to get people to vote uncommitted. Now think about how far we will go if we can leverage more civic momentum, if it's not just a one-week-long movement in which voters across the board are rising up and saying, we will no longer vote for this just because it's better than the other guy. That is not going to be our standard anymore. And when we tell ourselves that that is our standard, we will only be stuck in this bind between two options. And in years and years to come, our children and grandchildren will be told that they have to vote Democrat. They will have to vote for unconditional Zionism just because it's not as Zionist as the other guy. Slaughter, but better slaughter. Slaughter, but more effective slaughter.